I grew up in Hernando County, Florida, and I went to St. Leo University, which is a top Division II school, about 20 miles from here. I was just a little homesick country boy, so I didn't want to. I had some D1 offers out of state and some other places. Went to junior college, had a big year at junior college, and then got.
What's a big year?
My sophomore year, I hit 396 with 15 home runs, I think, and.
What position were you playing?
I was playing center field. 25 stolen bases. I led the country in doubles that year. I hit 27 doubles. I was 5'11", 155 pounds. You know, I never knew what the weight room was till I got to college. Never hit with wood bats, never lifted weights, nothing, you know. So I went to college my freshman year, got on a meal program, went to the gym twice a day. I put on 30 pounds of muscle in my first semester.
Why do you use that gymmer stick? Tell us about it.
To me, the gymmer, it helps my focus. You know, you have a smaller barrel, smaller sweet spot trying to catch the ball square. Also with the weight of it and everything, it stretches me out, stretches the muscles out a little bit, stretches the back out, and it just really gives me a good feel of I guess how good my hand-eye coordination is during the day.
What's that thing weigh?
This one I believe is, I want to say this is 7 pound or 8 pound. They make them from, I want to say 4 to 12. Oh. First few are the worst. If it's too heavy for you to take a good swing, then you need to drop down in the weight. You know, go to the 4 or go to the 3. That's my load. You know, I go here, and in the games a lot of times I'll do a little double tap. And when I do that little double tap and don't get my good load, I know I'm struggling. But if I get my good load here, I'm determining whether it's a flat pitch, high pitch. You know, so I know how long to hold that exactly.
So that's real relaxed and real slow motion.
It's real relaxed. It's here, and if it's, you know, if it's flat, I'm just gonna catch and go. If it's a little higher, I try to hold it for just a pinch, and that's all in the timing part of it. You know, I try to land. I don't try to dive in. I try to stride either at the pitcher or out a little bit. But I try to land with my hips closed. You know, I see a lot of people when they load, they'll load like this, and now your hip's already that much open. So now the hip drive is only from here to there. Whereas I like to, when I load, I like to load with my hips closed, land with my hips closed, which is here, which gives me that much more to drive into it, and where I feel a lot of my power comes from. You know, I'm really strong in my legs, really strong in my lower back. I mean, you know, I leg press over 1,000 pounds, deadlift 600. So I'm not big in the chest, not big in my arms, but my lower half is where I feel all my power comes from. And it's really just the load, land with my hips closed, and then I really drive as hard as I can into that front side. You know, and a lot of times you'll see my finish in the videos and pictures is like this, and it's because I'm driving my hips so hard that my foot won't rotate no more. Because I'm on the ball with my foot, it won't keep going, so it just rolls over, so my hips can finish. I mean, a lot of times, you know, I'm finished like this. I'm a true believer of throwing the knob at the ball. So I like to throw the hands more. It keeps my front shoulder closed a little more. And then after I throw, then I pull. I mean, there's definitely some rotation, but I feel that if I'm taking that there and then to extension, then the extension of the front side and the lag snap and everything all comes together at the right moment. And I'm driving, you know, already my backside's engaged, and I'm driving that hip into it as my hands are coming forward. And then, you know, so everything right at impact, it all comes together at the same time. You know, I want that hip to be basically like I'm trying to hit my hip to the ball also. Mm-hmm. You know, and I'll take that to kids, you know, and get a little thing and, you know, be like, you know, take your hip to the ball too. Kind of, I've seen some of the videos.
The bat on the hip drill, we do
something
that.
like that. Yep.
The other one that seems like it maybe makes sense to use. Make a fist, put it on your hip, and go ahead and punch with your. Yeah. You know, it feels like your hip is doing the punching.
Thing. I mean, as long as if this hip is driving into where you want to go. I mean, say you're wanting to go backside, you know, to the ball. You know, so your ball's back here. You know, boom, I'm driving that hip into it. You know, the pull pitch out front. You know, boom, I'm driving my hip into it. I feel if you're driving that hip into it, that's when you're gonna get your most power. Like I said, I coil up pretty good. You know, my front side's not closed so much, but my bottom half is. So they're already coiling up against each other. You know, and then whenever I go to drive that hip, I mean, I really just drive the whole, you know, whole backside into the ball as hard as I can. My top hand, I don't feel it does nothing but really guide. I mean, to me, it feels like it guides the bat to the ball. I don't really feel like it does much. I mean, I could almost take my top hand off 3/4 into the swing and be the same.
Well, and when we say pull, it doesn't necessarily have to have a connotation of you pulling open like this. But since you're saying that this is almost, you know, laid on there as a guide, it's more of, you know, if you had a cable machine and you were pulling with your lead arm here, you don't have to be pulling out like this, but you're definitely pulling like this.
Yes.
You know, you know, if you had to take your top hand off, you could, you know, you're really pulling a lot to there, and then the top hand is snapping with
that's
it.
One of the,
so it doesn't have to be opening up like that, but it can be kind of pulling right there.
With the kind of the pull thing that y'all talk about, if you can keep that shoulder closed with the teaching that you have and not get people to spin out, that's what I call it, spinning out. If you can keep them to keep that shoulder closed, then yes, I mean that's.
So you know, you're back right with 85% of the other pros. Your power really, you feel like is coming more from your front side, that extension and that drive of the knob from the front side.
The upper half is definitely front side. The lower half is back right hip. It's about getting the lag and snap and extension all into one. I really try not to let the cap of the bat get below my hands.
Do you feel like it's more of a sideways snapping of the wrist, or do you feel like you kind of come over the top with a tomahawk in action? What is that? You know, as opposed to under snap, which is wrong, this would be kind of sideways and that's over the top.
To me, it's always kind of the tomahawk is what I want.
Your cut swing.
Yes, and that's keeping my barrel above my hands.
I see over snap. If you take a plane here, and when you go to hit eventually, the bat head's going to be over there. You know, look where the knob is. You know, I mean, you have a plane on the top of here, your bat head's over the top. Whereas, like Brett was saying, rec guys take the knob up in the air and they go here.
100%.
That's a baseball inside-out swing.
Yes.
You know, and the bat head's below there.
Well, and I get a lot of guys that, you know, you know, some of the guys I come hit BP with are D and E level players, and we start trying to hit home runs. And the first thing they want to do is go, you know, and start trying to lift the ball, you know, and then they'll catch 1 out of 5 and it'll be a decent one, but they hit 4 while we're hitting regular BP that went 20 feet further by trying to cut the ball down.
I like what you say, keep the bat head above
the hands,
or above the knob.
You know, and even with you guys, with, you know, because I know you lay it kind of flat, you know, your bat head, the cap's still above your hand, you know, and even all the way to the ball, it can be above the hand. As long as you don't start doing this, okay, because then you're going to get the humpbacks.
And we'll say do that again, go right to that position. We'll say drive the knob down, inside and down, and which is the same way as say keeping the bat head above.
Yes.
But the bat head above makes perfect sense, and maybe that's a better way to teach it, you know.
And with the throwing the knob at it.
You want to keep it in the park, then where's your pitch selection?
Normally, you know, from belly button probably to boobs, chest area. I mean, we'll start and just kind of work our way around the field. You know, it's normally how I do it. I mean, I'm not
when you base hit, what's your main base hit hole?
I love either side of the pitcher. You know, I call that, to me, that's my 900 hole. If that's open for me every time, I should be able to get a hit through there. A lot of times, though, you know, I'll get the infielders moving on the pitch, or the pitcher jump into the wrong hole that I want to go through, and it messes me up a little bit. But overall, that's where I like to live. Used to be 5.6 was my money shot, but I've found last 2 years that I'm having trouble keeping it down in the 5.6, and I'm either hitting bad home runs or line drives to the left fielder. 3-4 hole works pretty good for me lately, but now I have teams taking it away from me, so it's more back to the middle. Normally what I'll do on the first pitch, if it's definitely a ball, I'll give them, which I'm giving away a lot of my secrets, but I'll give them a look of what you know, I'll step out, stride out, and everything, make them think I want to hit the 3-4 one the whole time I want to hit the 5.6. You know, or if I really want to hit the 3-4, I'll hit the first foul ball over in the other field over here.
Yeah. Like Brett and I feel like 5%, and then, you know, 90%, you know, if you're trying to hit outline drives or whatever, what kind of percentage you feel like you have on your load up?
It's probably that. I mean, I don't know. Let's hit one and let me think about that as I hit it. Yeah, I mean, I'd say maybe 5 to 10%.
Yeah.
You know, it's not super aggressive, because if you get in too big of a hurry, you know, with your load and everything, then you know the pitcher floats one in there, then you're going to be out front. You're going to be, you know.
And you don't really get as much power on the load as you think. It's more just kind of a timing device.
It's a timing mechanism, 100% just a timing mechanism. I mean, that's why, you know, you see different guys. I mean, Collins, you know, he's doing this with his swing real fast, and it's just all about the timing. You know, Kyle Pearson's big and Helmer's big, huge leg kick. You know, it's just all about a timing mechanism for them guys. I mean, it really, the load, other than wanting to get my hips closed for when I do land and have my hips closed more, the load is this basically, it's all timing. It has nothing to do with the swing. It's just you know, kind of a timing mechanism.
And here there's not much change there. Mechanics, you're just waiting out a longer point of contact. Just trying to wait,
let it get as deep as I can. You know, when I first work with guys that have trouble hitting the backside, you know, I try to tell them, I say, let it get as deep as you think to where you can't even hit it anymore. And then just see where it goes from there. You know, so literally if they let it get so deep that they hit it there, then it's like, well, all right, now let me catch it a little bit further. A little further up. And then all of a sudden now I'm on the line.
The problem is off the tee, most guys will put it about 3 feet in front of them, you know, and then
well, if I'm going to work on the tee work down the first baseline, that tee will probably be set up about right there. You know, all the way back there to where I just go, boom, and I'm catching it right back here. Nothing really changes. I'm still trying to throw the knob to the ball and get extension. I mean, the only problem with the tee, especially with it being that deep, it's kind of hard to throw the knob at it because the ball's back here and you can't really go to it. So
when you go backside, what percent do you swing on your opening? But in your opening or your boom, what percent do you swing? Do you go?
It really depends on what I'm trying to do with it. You know, if I'm in the mindset of I'm hitting a home run, whether it's inside, outside, you know, obviously my approach is gonna be harder. If I'm trying to make sure I don't make a mistake and just flip the 3-4 hole, and if I do miss it, it's not a home run or a bad home run. I mean, it varies probably from 60% to, you know, a full 100% when I'm trying to hit home runs backside. I mean, you have your 60 in the 3-4 hole. Or you have your 100 for the home run backside.
Do you feel like you're driving that ball up, or do you feel like you're swinging, like driving that ball level to slightly up? Or do you feel like you're swinging down through it?
When I'm trying to cut it down through that hole, I truly feel that I'm coming down hard at it. Now, I mean, it could be mistaken, but that's really what it feels like to me.
Whether your swing ends up from lag to snap going level or slightly up, your feeling is that you're going down.
I feel like I'm good swinging down, yeah.
That's your manipulation.
All right, I'm gonna have to hit this one out though. That's my, anytime I take a bat out of the wrapper, I gotta hit it over the fence. It's just a weird thing.
Oh.
You certainly called your shot.
See, that's the one, that short pitch we were talking about. You know, it's kind of it's a 50-50 call if I'm gonna hit it where I want, or if I'm gonna hit, you know, the control's just not there on that short pitch when I have to start leaning and going out away from where I really want to, the swing I want to take. Oh, Jason, see, that's that bad swing stuff I'm talking about. Stupid bad home run.
And so tell the camera, tell the camera on that, Jason. What did you do wrong on that swing to drive that out?
Just I went out to it. I got over my front side, and when I got over my front side, it's gonna make me not catch the ball where I want. You know, when all the mechanics fall apart, then you're just trying to hit it and hoping for the best. And
sometimes if you're out early, then all of a sudden you're not catching on the halfway point, you're catching it below.
I'm catching it up front, that's right.
Yeah.
And I just can't control it.
Do you find it's easier to keep it down the farther this way you Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%. I've only hit in the last probably 5 years. I can only think of one home run I hit backside that I didn't mean to hit. It was in Chattanooga when the ball was flying this year, and I tried to hit it into the right field corner, and I hit about a 9-foot high line drive that went off the top of the fence and out of the park. You know, and I just didn't think I'd ever hit it out of the park.
Once you get
backside.
here over, then you're risking getting that
the
ball
one I hit
there.
the worst home runs is when I'm trying to go hard, like right over the rubber, and I spin them, and there's just no chance. They don't stand apart. Put an imaginary line that I would come through here and come out here. You know, come out in here, out there, where the ground balls, I would come, you know, I would come in here, you know, and come through the top of it a little bit more. And then for the home runs,
How many times in baseball though do you hear guys say, you got to picture the ball hitting the bat head? I think it almost slows your swing down if you have that kind of a.
I mean, it happens so fast. I mean, if you see a lot of pictures from a lot of the softball guys, if you look at it, they take, I mean, a lot of guys heads down, but their vision is out in here. You know, they don't follow it all the way back to impact. I mean,
you're kind of tracking the
let
last.
me see if I can. I'll see if I can follow it all the way back to impact. Now, see, that was literally, I was trying to hit that through the middle and ended up the right field. Let me try another one through the middle. Yeah, there's no way.
You more track at the last 3 feet.
The last 3 feet, exactly. I mean, you know, I do so much BP and I'm so comfortable with it that, you know, I know where the bat's going to be at that end. You know, that's the reason for the BP. That's the reason to have the timing mechanism. So I know where my bat's going to be when I want it to be there. I try not to change too much. The only difference I try to do is go from hitting the center of the ball to the bottom center of the ball. But I notice, I feel it in my swing a lot, especially in my finish, that I obviously do get a little bit flatter and a little bit laid back more into the, you know, not so much aggressive here as I get a little bit flatter in my swing because I can feel it in my finish. And when I get to the smoky, this year I didn't because the mat, they have this stupid mat in the box and the hole gets so big out front, but I usually get way up. I even get further up than I normally do because I want to try to hit everything right here. Because it's already up, all I gotta do is spin it and let it go. Where if I back up and I'm trying to hit that here, now I gotta try to spin it and lift it.
So you would say maybe for home runs, if you're trying to hit more home runs, your pitch selection gets closer to the shoulder.
I'd rather be above my tits to my forehead. Harvey, when he was still playing pro ball or playing independent ball and then come out to softball, and you know, him and I went and hit a couple times, and I was, you know, actually talking about cutting a softball, how to, you know, kind of take a steeper angle at the softball and cut it. But when he went back to baseball, he took that back to baseball with him. And he's like, dude, he goes, it was unbelievable. He goes, I was hitting balls to right center up in the lights. He goes, it was amazing. He goes, and these dudes, they didn't understand what I was talking about spinning the baseball. And then now if you know, 3/4 of the hitting instructors in the bigs talk about spinning the baseball.
I like the sound of that one better.
Well, it's tinging because it's brand new.
You have swings on that one?
I just took, nah, that was his first one.
And do you feel like you're swinging at an up angle for that? Do you feel like you're driving it up?
That one I did. You know, because it was a little higher up.
And
I felt like I went up to it.
On all those home run balls, you had about 5 or 6 in a row here. Do you feel like you're at least level?
Yeah, I'm definitely flat. I mean, I'm trying to catch the bottom of the ball and lift. So I think I'm coming in a little flatter. Two more.
Beauty. With SIS, the scene rolling as the season progresses, you having, you know, your 3rd or 4th great year in a row, it's turned out pretty good.
I think so, yeah. You know, I like our chances at the World Series this year. Hopefully I can, you know, I got to fulfill one of my bucket list things with the USA thing this year. Sunday I get to go hit in the Bomber Tour, which is another bucket list thing, you know.
And then you got a new bat coming, your own bat.
My own bat coming, that's, you know, another softball bucket list, and if we can win the World Series in September, you know, that would be kind of the cream of the crop.
Tell us about the bat.
The bat, I believe, is going to be it's going to be called the Jason Branch Legit, 12.5-inch barrel, 1 ounce end load. The only bat on the market like it right now is the Smash It Sports Purple Haze bat. So hopefully I can get the feel for it coming from a 13.5-inch barrel. But you know, I'm hoping good things for it, and hopefully we sell a bunch of them and everybody likes it, and you know, it'll be the next Greg Cannell or BJ Folk or, you know, Kevin Philby bat. So we'll see.